I'm Alan Moran. I'm from Australia. I edited the book Climate Change: The Facts and wrote one of the chapters. I'm an economist, and you're asked what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about the economics of climate change, about different aspects of it. Will wind work? How much will it cost us to actually abate the carbon dioxide, which they say we have to abate? What will be the benefits of abating that carbon dioxide, and then drawing conclusions.
Oh, and what are the benefits of
Not very much. Not very much. Basically, the IPCC chose selectively various experts to portray those benefits. In fact, what they said was that if we did abate carbon dioxide and held it to levels of about 500 parts per million, then there would be some benefits, but those benefits were quite slender. There were three studies they chose. One study said there would be a benefit in terms of global GDP over the next 50 years of 4.6%. Another study said it'd be about 1.9%. So it was that kind of order, just a few percentage points over a period of a half a century or so, if we did abate it. And that was taking the rather rosy views about what the disturbing elements of emissions would be. So they're almost a worst case situation. Now, when they came to look at the costs of actually doing that abatement in terms of basically stopping carbon dioxide, or very, very largely stopping it, they found those costs were quite large. In fact, not very different from, even they found they weren't very different from the benefits that they claimed would be in place. They said, the IPCC said, well, if there's a strong breeze and a following wind, we could get away with a cost of this globally of 3.7% of GDP. That is, if we held it to 450 parts per million. Well, when you examine what they meant by that strong breeze and a following wind, they meant a whole lot of new technologies which don't exist yet, some of which may be not feasible, including things like carbon capture and storage, and that these technologies we're going to be cutting in, and we're going to replace basically all the carbon dioxide that we're presently using. It really is not feasible, but even they said, taking these extremely bullish attitudes towards new technologies, even they said it would cost quite a lot of money, more than the benefits were. Bear in mind, I mean, what they're talking here is that the benefits are, if the benefits are, say, we avoid losing 3% of GDP over a period of 50 years, and that's about 1 year's growth. I mean, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about quite trivial amounts of benefits, even if what they say is true, and that the costs of doing it could be quite colossal. I mean, we can just think in terms of totally scrapping all our existing power stations, for example, of finding ways of producing steel without using coal, of finding ways of producing plastics. What do we do about airlines? These are profound questions which really aren't answered at all in the IPCC or any other warmest literature.
What would you say the general attitude toward this phenomenon of pushing global warming or global warming is in Australia among the general population?
Well, I think most people don't care, they don't know. People want to go to the football matches, they've got their kids and things like that. They basically don't focus on these kind of holistic things. They focus on what's good for them. And basically, if politicians are telling them that, this won't cost you very much, then they'll go along with that until they actually see it does cost them a lot, and then they will vote the politicians out. And indeed, that's what happened with the previous administration. We put in a carbon tax. The administration said they weren't going to put in a carbon tax. It was in. People suddenly noticed that their electricity bills had gone up a lot more than they thought they were going to go up, and the government got voted out.
No, what's the most important thing that people understand from this conference? What would you say the most important ideas?
Well, I think the important ideas is that global warming may not be happening. If it's happening, it's not very severe. And to try to do something about it will be extremely expensive. It will mean a total revolution of the world's economy, and it will mean almost a centralized control over the world's economy, which is A, unpalatable, and B, is likely to lead to economic disasters.
And their primary motivation of those people who are behind
Well,
this?
I think there's a lot of motivation. Some people genuinely do think there is a problem, and that there could be a problem for certain aspects. But the motivation of those who are pushing it is that they see a way in which they can control this. They think for the better. They think it will be better for the world. But they are in a pole position in the seats there, pulling the levers and manipulating economies in ways that they think would improve those economies.
Okay.
These are profound questions which really aren't answered at all in the IPCC or any other warmest literature.